Today we're talking about VaultCraft. VaultCraft is a protocol currently allowing you to get around 79% APR on Lbtc, but it's also a protocol that hosts many Vault strategies. Now, if you're familiar with Vault, they tend to be ERC 4626 compliant vaults or assets, meaning they are composable throughout DeFi. If you deposit into one of these vaults, you will receive a receipt token that you can take to other protocols and potentially use in the grand, as we like to say, Lego block DeFi ecosystem. Now, I mentioned a 79% APR. Let's actually take a closer look at that. So Lbtc is currently their flagship vault here with a boosted APR or a boost APR with a minimum boost APR of 72% currently. And we'll dive into that in a second. But first, let's understand what this vault is doing. Now, this vault has the ability to do many things. Now, I tend to call these things adapters, but what it means is these are the things whitelisted for this vault to use. This vault can't use anything outside of these strategies, and so it can lend Lbtc on zero lend, and if you've checked out zero lend, that does mean you will be qualifying for extra points. If you are a member of the Turtle Club, you'll get gravity points, you'll get Lombard points, and you'll get Babylon points. And on top of that, it is also in a Pendle LP, generating an 8.2% APR or APY. Now you can see 73% of the deposits are currently going to that Pendle LP, and 27% of the deposits are going to lending on zero lend, but that is only 7% of the total 79% APR. So let's talk about that other 72%. This 72% comes from OVCX. VCX, of course, being the VaultCraft governance token, OVCX being an option to purchase that token at a discount, a 25% discount to be precise. So let's talk about this for a second, because you might think that if you're getting OVCX and it only allows you to buy at a 25% discount, then your boosted APR is really kind of a funny number, not actually what you are getting. But I've done the math here. My goodness, look at this. So if there are 12 million OVCX going out per year on a TVL of $181,000, that means that the realizable APR after exercising these for a 25% discount and then selling the VCX for that 25% profit does actually get you a net APR of 72%. So let's actually look at how this works. What you will receive is OVCX. And in order to realize your profits here or your APR, what you'll have to do is go back to the main page, click exercise OVCX, and then exercise ETH, OP, or ARB to VCX. Now, you'll need ETH, OP, or ARB to do this. Let's just say that you have earned 1,000 OVCX. You will have to pay 75% of what that would be worth in VCX for the VC to unlock the VCX or get those emissions. So in this case, I'd have to pay 0.0145 ETH to receive 1,000 VCX. And then I could immediately sell that VCX if I wanted to for a 25% profit on my 0.0145 ETH. And if you annualize the amount of profit you could get from that on the Lbtc vault, it would give you a 72% APR. So that is a real actualizable APR that you don't have to wait for, which is really nice. You don't have to, it is not locked up for some long period. There's no vesting terms or vesting contract. It is simply, you get the OVCX, you convert it to VCX using some asset like ETH, OP, or Arbitrum, and then you can do whatever you want with that yield. You can sell your VCX, or if you wanted to boost your APR, you could stake your VCX. And by staking your VCX, not only potentially get a 25% APY if you staked for 12 months, but also get up to 4x voting power, which would allow you to maybe boost that yield on your Lbtc from 72% in OVCX all the way up to 361%. which would be wild on a BTC derivative. So that is the incentive for locking or staking your VCX to get an even higher, wildly boosted yield. Again, this is their flagship vault, the one they really want users to get excited about. And it does give you a receipt token. So if you deposited Lbtc into this, what you would receive is ST Lbtc. You can see it's already sort of generated 1% more or less in APR. And then theoretically, there may come a day where you can take this receipt token and then do something with it in DeFi. Maybe you could collateralize it. Maybe you could LP it. It is a 4626 compliant asset. So you really could do anything that you could otherwise do with an ERC20 token. Now, please note, there is a 1% management fee on the underlying deposited assets, and the TVL is currently under $1 million. So this could get diluted rather quickly if a whale came to participate in this opportunity. That said, currently the APRs are rather high and beneficial for the smaller user. Now, I will say, you should always understand your smart contract risks. So you would want to know who has audited this protocol. VaultCraft currently has an ImmuneFi bug bounty of $150,000. And a bug bounty means that the audit is effectively crowdsourced, with many auditors checking out the contracts to try to find bugs and claim some of that bounty. Now, so far, they have paid out $59,000 to bounty hunters in order to strengthen the smart contracts of their protocol. And go ahead and check this out. You should always do your due diligence when looking at new protocols and understand your risk, and never invest any money that you aren't willing to lose. Anyways, that is VaultCraft in a nutshell. Maybe in the future we'll see people deploying their own vaults, because you can create your vaults. However, most of these vaults have been curated by the VaultCraft team themselves and are managed by that team. As things grow, you might see a decentralized or other strategists or data scientists spin up some other strategy vaults. But in the meantime, right now, these are mostly proprietary vaults being highlighted on the front end with varying attractive APRs. You can see that the APRs range from a base of 72% to 21% on USD, which is quite interesting, with only $22,000 of TVL. So this is a very small protocol looking for some attention. And I will finally say, this is and has been a sponsored educational video by the VaultCraft team to get people to understand their protocol and know what is going on over at VaultCraft. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and learning about VaultCraft. If you have any questions, I recommend hopping on the Discord or the Telegram, links always at the bottom, and of course following them on Twitter for any updates to these strategies. So thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.